Okay, let's get started. So, I've spent the last, like, what is it, 1:15 now? I've spent, like, the last half hour or so troubleshooting. Because first live stream, first issues. So, we're gonna start off here at Stepford Victoria, which I've already constructed to get, like, a base of the map along to Willowfield, and we have Stepford Central right across over here. And so, what else? I mean, I guess we'll do a few tours of the station and the current fleet I have set up on the Willowfield to Stepford Victoria and Beachley to Victoria lines. So we have, starting off, a couple of Class 68s with MK3 coaches. We are going to have a few 158s. These are on the Beachley line. They are in old Connect livery along with the MK3s. Here's another one heading the opposite direction towards Beachley. Over here we have a 321, which is useful. Still a dusty bin. For some reason the destination signs don't work after the latest Transport Fever 2 update, so that's gonna be a thing, but that's fine. Over here we have Beachley, and it's beach, not so beach looking Lee. We have the Beachley sidings. And then over here with a shorter platform we have Hemden Park, and if I want I can tell the game to work, and then we can see this 377 arrive very slowly. Like it's going freaking 5 miles an hour right now. That's not okay. But as you can see, it has a short platform, so the 5 carriage units will not fit in this station. And here we go, doors open. And that's it for the fleet at the moment. So what we have here is Stepford Central, which was a pain to build because of the amount of junctions and weird fancy. I think like the most confusing part probably was the airlink terminuses because of that thingamajiggy, which is really odd, but still exists. So I've still got to hook these up, but right now I'm working on the approach into Stepford East for the Airlink platforms and the Stepford Victoria Connect platforms. And we also have the dive underground for the depot, Stepford East Airlink depot over here. So let's get building. I'm just gonna start by connecting these quickly, and also turn on the music because it's kind of cool. So I'm planning to start modding some liveries into SCR colors, or modding some trains into SCR liveries. Once I finish some more advanced Blender stuff and introductory stuff, I'll get working on it, but yeah, hopefully I'll be able to use them to add them as an asset to this map. I don't know why that's there, but it is somehow. So as you can see, we'll do a quick tour of the stations. We've got the express platforms 1, 2, and 3, connect platforms 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and also 10, 11, bound for Stepford Victoria / Willowfield. Then we've got our airlink platforms 12, 13, 14, 15, which are the island platforms. And that's pretty much it. So let's get working. I've pulled up my image of Stepford East on my second monitor, and we're going to do what makes us happy, build trains. So let me just switch to it real quickly. and we will get started. So I think actually what I might do is I might plop Stepford East before we finish doing the approaches so that we can make the approaches look a little bit better. So I'm just going to raise the terrain here. Wrong tool. And then we are going to flatten the terrain. Which supposedly should work, but is being sticky today because it loves to. Along with everything else on my computer. I'm so funny. Okay, there we go. Now we've got functioning freaking terrain tool. So as you can see, I have infinite money because God only knows how much it costs to build a railway of this scale. We're gonna start by kind of doing this along the connect platforms. And then we're going to not enter the doorbell. So what I'm going to do for Stepford East is we are going to use 3 slots for the platform instead of 1 because, quite frankly, I feel like it's necessary in order to build the, what are they, the things that dive under the tracks to head to Whitefield. Those are kind of needed. So we're going to build those at that width. And hopefully all works out, and then we'll either go to Morganstown or Willowfield for today. Now what we're doing is we are elevating the terrain to the same height as the tracks over here until I can get the zero height bridge mod to work slightly more effectively, because at the moment it really isn't. It doesn't work very well with curves and or actually zero height bridges. So once that comes out and patches itself, we will then convert all of this, because all of this area is all bridged up to bridges. Once we're done building the main bits of track, we're going to start building rivers and scenery and roads and stuff like that around them based on the new map, especially with the scenery in the Coxley and new Stepford City area. So let's get that going. to shove this initial platform smack dab in the middle of nowhere, because if we want to expand outwards, it only gives us a certain amount of slots to do so. And if we max out those slots on one side, then we either have to physically move the station or just deal with it. Then I'm not up for either, so we're gonna do it right the first time. Let's get our station out. So align it with the track. There, that looks about right. And, yep. So what we're gonna do is we're going to not call it El Paso in a few seconds. We're gonna get rid of these roofs and these things. They kind of look ugly, not gonna lie. Then we are going to physically... I actually have to see if they use the high-speed track in Stepford East or the low-speed track. So we're gonna check. And it is the low-speed track on approach, so we're going to keep those as is. So we're going to expand this outwards. So we will use tracks as our placeholder. So these are where platforms are going to be located. These are going to be our connect platforms. So we have platform 1 and 2, and 3 and 4. And we're also going to use the elevated platform mods because I don't want people hopping like freaking leapfrogs on trains. So that'll come into use later. And we have platforms 5 and 6. I feel like we should minorly adjust this station. So I'm going to do that. Slightly too far to be, not slightly, way too far to, but so once again, let's actually rename it now to Stepford East. And then we're going to get these platforms done. So once again, let's get rid of these roofs and the station modules. Actually, come to think of it, once again, we should move the station, because if these are the Express and Stepford Central Connect platforms, then it might be slightly useful to move them slightly. Just looking at them again quickly. Yeah, so these are the Express, these are the SC bound. So if we look at that, then yeah, it might be slightly worth it to move this more that way. So attempt number 3, let's try over here. Let's hope that this works. Well, we have this mediocrely funky transport piece of music playing in the background. That. I'm just gonna ignore the fact that it's minorly hailing outside. Oh, I see what I've done. But yeah, it should work with this configuration. 1, 2, 3, 1. So the express platforms obviously come along here, but we're not going to integrate those into the station because we need all the room we can get for the actual station. So this is going to be platform 1, 2, 3, 4, as soon as I rebuild all of them. This is going to be platform 5. I'm just looking at this alignment quickly. I don't know why it's red at the moment. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And those somewhat line up. I might actually have to bend this a little more straightwards. But that's not too big of a deal. So we're going to go ahead and start by actually building our platforms to start off with. And this is Stepford East, so these platforms are going to be way too long. It is now raining, which is very convenient. So if the connection gets spotty, blame it on Hurricane Irma or something, I don't know. Jesus. That's not good. Okay, so we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 link platforms. Seems pretty set for yeasty to me. Can fit like 5-car train and or a whole 4-car train and another. I don't know, I might do 4. Seems slightly more useful. Yeah, because that's 1, 2, 3, yeah, so we'll keep on the 4 and let the wind absolutely barrage the territory around us. But this is Calgary, so it'll go away in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nope, it just came stronger. Welcome to Calgary, you guys should live here. Best city. The weatherman says it's gonna be sunny, don't believe them. That's their motto. Okay, let's get rid of these platforms. We're also gonna get rid of those placeholder platforms. But yeah, no, I do not want to destroy the entire station that we've spent this long working on already. So we're gonna get some 960mm height platforms. Actually, I should start on platform 1 so that it gets numbered as such. Might be useful. Yeah, so let's start over here with platform 1. And so there we go, it's probably going to get numbered as such now. And then we've got more red platforms. And then here we have platform 3 and 4 coming along nicely. We're then going to build like the central underpasses over here. And then 5, 6, 7, 8. And let's just get these in. And claim all. We have built the base for Stepford East. Woohoo. Alright, so let's start getting some of those underpasses in here. Where are they? Also, I need to look at the station and see what kind of roof they use. Here are the underpasses. Okay, so they usually, Stepford East have one here and here, if I recall correctly. I am going to release this on Steam eventually once I can get it into a reasonable state. So at least it sort of looks like the map. I probably won't release it as it is now. That's a very bad idea. Because I don't want to, whatchamacallit. Holy rain. It's way too early to give into, and although I do appreciate the fact that some people would like to, whatchamacallit, modify it in their own ways, I would like to make a complete version that's kind of like based off of the actual map for people to just use on their own will, modify Connect services and Airlink services to their own liking, make extensions. God only knows. So yeah, we're going to. But yes, I'm going to be releasing it eventually. Okay, so now that we've got that built, we're going to modify this so that it can line up with that. Or we could actually start here because these are lined up correctly somehow. Don't know what I did to do that, but let's get a go going. Okay, so let's start with these platforms, or these tracks actually. Okay, so we're just going to kind of make that look like a freaking, we just kind of, what they kind of do is like a that, so just gonna keep it like that. Actually, hold on, I gotta check that out quickly. Because might not be correct, because what I remember it doing is kind of like snaking off to the left, while the Victoria bound platforms snake under the bridge, where the Connect bound, or the Central bound platforms head. So, let's check while it still rains heavily, disappointingly. So yeah, let's check this. And lo and behold, I was correct. That's actually kind of disappointing. So what the express platforms do is they come and do a this. They kind of did what the so you know, I am gonna build that, but I'm gonna delete it so I can build the express platforms and get that basis going. And holy Jesus, the rain is very useful at the moment. And this is when dampening microphones would be incredibly useful. And that concludes Stepford Express for Stepford East. We can finish on. Actually, that's not true. We still have to get the Stepford Express depot Okay, it's like it's hailing right now. Holy Jesus. That isn't even funny. Like, wow. Okay, so we're gonna do what is recommended by our local Stepford County Railway doctors. Going to bend these that way, while still trying to keep the limit of the tracks reasonable. So 177 is not bad, considering that's about 100 miles an hour, which is the actual speed limit of the main line around here. And then yeah, it sort of does that. And what happens in the background is the express depot tracks come up from here. So we're just gonna sort of build that for like on a for now-ish basis, just so that we don't overshoot anything. And let's just yep, there we go. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. And this is when this rises up for absolutely no reason at all. Just does. I might have to start it from here, actually. I just want it to be like a fast-built bridge. So I might actually, if zero height bridge will work for today, I might. Let's see, what bridge type are we going to use? It has to look Stepford East-ish, so it needs to be like a white concrete bridge. Let's see. Oh, that might work. Let's try that. Alright, so let's get this going. I'm just praying it works. Nope. Oh, it sort of works, except that's way too close together, so that certainly won't work. There was one that I saw back here that might be effective. Eventually, once this is done, I'm going to release a time-lapse of it, because most of it is recorded. I'm not going to be doing often live streams of this, because of the technical difficulties, until at least I get this sorted out. So, yeah. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Oh, it actually did that. That's useful. Okay, let's find an adequate bridge. No, that's twice as worse. No. No. That's really bad, actually. This one might work. That might be appropriate. Yeah, that's a lot more appropriate for the setting. Oh, I have to freaking downgrade the track too. There we go. We just need to have enough clearance for too much slope. Well, according to SCR, it's not, so I'm just gonna ignore everything that you guys said to the transport feature. There we go. That's better. So then we are going to... So it's really confusing to explain what happens, so I'm just gonna do and hope that you understand. Oh, I built a bridge. That's wonderful. Very wonderful. Oh, because I have 0 height bridge on, I forgot. That's my fault. Okay, let's build this. And there we go, we have that now. Let's just hope that the trains don't. They probably will, so I'll find a better bridge mod or I'll make one on my own later. That's no big deal. And you can see why I did that, so why I did the 3 platform length thing, so that we have enough room to build the UFC bound tracks that are super ugly. Look like they're gonna dunno. Oh look, it stopped raining. Welcome to Calgary, folks. Oh, I've made a 1 level mistake. No 6 of them intended. I've forgotten to... I've put my track in the wrong place. That's a really bad thing to do. You should always put your track in the correct place, folks. If you don't put your track in the correct place, you may end up with derailments. Very costly derailments that cost lots of money. Okay, so that happens. Where are the Victoria platforms? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to completely boom, 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 boom thing. So, and autosave right as I angrily clicking at the moment. So I can realign these tracks. The cast of Dance Moms should do that more often. They'd be able to relieve some of their stress. And my second monitor is deceased, so let me plug in my second monitor. You know why I unplugged it? That was a really silly idea. Alright, let's turn on parallel tracks, because we need tracks that are parallel at the moment. And for that, I'm just going to use my main device and switch tabs and hope that OBS is smart enough to keep my video still on the game. Let's just hope. let's just study the platforms at Stepford East. Let's see what we are dealing with here. This is some funky music, though.
Approach.
I'm not gonna lie.
This is a connect train. This train is now.
Okay, so let's look at the view from Airlink because I'm too lazy to start a Stepford Victoria service because that'll take forever. So I'm just gonna do some pro buffer eating right now. Okay, that gives me a better idea. That's wonderful. Okay, I'm gonna turn parallel tracks off for this actually, because actually, you know, I might be that actually probably would work. So let's do that. Except it wouldn't because I have to freaking. So let's not do that. I've missed a very crucial part here. Forgot to line these up, so let's try again, except lined up. And I'll just let it thunder while it's blue skies all of a sudden again. Okay. If that's the case, then we're just going to get the Airlink platforms to do the exact same. So that goes straight. These also do. So, of course, that does that. And this track goes and eats dirt over towards the Stepford East depot. I'm gonna have to get a better depot mod to deal with what would you call it? The fact that I don't have a good 4-track depot. I only have 2-track ones, so it would kind of look weird. But anyways, let's do our thing. Actually, I might build a track that goes around this track. Which now bends down for some reason. That's not okay. It's transport fever, so who cares? $95, that's reasonable speed limit. It's higher than 45 miles an hour, so I'll take it. This is kind of where, nope, I didn't want to do that. Yeah, I'm gonna temporarily delete these at the sake of building morally bad tracks. As you can see, with Transport Fever 2, we can do the dive a lot quicker compared to Transport Fever 1. And then we're going to keep it diving down while these tracks. We might actually have to get it to dive a bit earlier so we don't have to